Let's
I'll
start
tell
this
them.
recording. She's not going to tell them. She's not going to tell them anything.
I'm going to tell them as soon as we go live.
Welcome, everybody to Emotes Only Chat. We are going to be only speaking in emotes for the next 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever you feel like. And, and we'll be quoting Star Trek as well. We'll be chatting about Star Trek, even though I don't know much about
That's
it.
acceptable.
That's why Jim Plays Games is here, because he knew we were going to be chatting about Star Trek, so he was excited about it. Okay.
Can I just complain that we were a little delayed because of technical difficulties? The technical difficulty was Dan had me muted, and he told me that my sound wasn't working.
Does anybody really believe that? Come on. Nobody believes that. Oh, is that a Tim Hortons advertisement? Are we sponsored by Tim Hortons now? Nice.
I have to hold it up for a certain number of seconds per stream. And I've got a stopwatch going.
That's part of the contract or whatever.
Yeah, here. Did you know it says always fresh?
That's probably it's true in Canada, but here I'm certain it's not always fresh.
Anyway,
it's definitely not always fresh here. So welcome everybody to our stream number, I don't know, 20.
40
probably
something.
Not, it's probably not that something. Many. It's 40? Are you kidding?
No, I swear.
Wow, that's a lot of streams.
I know.
What's up there, Hacksaw Unit, Feroy, Illy Swank, a.k.a. Timmy. Who else is in here? I saw the Deluxe Tux. I saw Jim. Obviously, we saw Jim Plays Games. Cosmic Void 3, what's up? Eshaktar, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think it's just a Twitch challenge. You can't... Oh, hi, Anna. It's a challenge to pronounce everybody's Twitch name. So I'm always thinking about, making it more, more challenging to pronounce those Twitch names. So I have been crazy nuts, like busy, because I started a class. Is that too loud?
No, not for me.
Hi, Dr. Mikachu. It's a little loud? Interesting. All right, let me turn it down. Yeah, that's my new name.
Spooky you can play, Dan?
Spooky we could. Okay, Dan, your first task is to make a poll. Please don't do it. Please don't do it to me, Dr. Mikachu. I can't afford the doctor bills. We don't have socialized medicine here in this country. Julia, on the other hand, that's why she can drink Tim Hortons coffee that's been there since the 70s. Oh, man. This is Halloween. Will it get stuck? It might be.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Nice one. That's such a great theme song.
So good.
Man, what a great show, too. And by the way, Gillian Anderson, well, I better not say it, but she's as beautiful she's as beautiful today as she was that I remember back in the 90s, so.
She's gorgeous.
Man. Anyway, we won't talk about Gillian Anderson for 2 hours, just the first half hour or so. See, Jim Plays Games wants to believe. Fox Mulder wants to believe. Did you watch any of the remake? Not the remake, I guess the reboot?
No.
It wasn't really a reboot. What do you call it? It's just they extended the original show.
I vaguely remember that, but no, I did not.
It wasn't bad.
I don't think I did.
It was only a handful of episodes, though, right? It kind of stuck to the formula, but it was like it was more you had to watch all the episodes, I think. It was like there was like an overarching story where, I mean, I guess there kind of was in the thing, but it was good. Either way, it was good. Continuation, yeah. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I really liked it. Blah Holtzen says, I see up here, the X-Files theme really scared him as a kid. So I used to get in trouble from my uncle for playing that song in the house because it scared my niece, my cousin. Not my niece. His daughter, She's my cousin.
Your
And
cousin.
yeah, and she was little, but I was, I would go play the piano at their house, and I would play a little bit. And my uncle would literally, they wouldn't hear anything else I would play, but that song, everybody would get pissed off. So that's kind of funny. The feature film was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like, the episodes were cool. Yeah, there was a Monster of the Week. And then did anybody watch Fringe? Did you ever watch Fringe? I think we've talked
Nope.
about that show too on this.
I've never seen it, so I couldn't have said anything.
They also had another stunning female lead on that show.
Who is it?
I forget her name, but she's Australian, I think. Australian actor. That was a really good show.
Does it have a good theme?
I don't remember the theme being that identifiable or having a theme really at all. Certainly wasn't as good. Fringe just had a show about hair. That's Frizz. No, Fringe was really good. Leonard Nimoy was in a couple of episodes. And then the other guy, what's the guy's name from Dawson's Creek? The less
Yes, Joshua
famous
Jackson.
guy. Yes, Joshua. Well, he's actually more famous now, I guess. I don't know. Is he? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah,
Joshua
I think so.
Jackson. He was the male lead in the show. I think so. But it was really about.
Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, it was really about the lady. Her name was Olivia Dunham on the show, but I don't know what her real name is because I don't.
Well, Alpharoma said Anna Torn.
Anna
Anna
Torn.
Torn?
Yes. Yeah, Fringe is cool, but I only got halfway through and meant to go back. Yeah, I watched the whole show. Anna Torv. Yes, that's right.
Okay, Anna Torv. Okay.
Yeah, she's. I think she's Australian, but in the show she has an American accent, and the
Yes.
idea is that she was some kind of child prodigy or had some kind of special abilities that the show kind of gets unraveled as that. It's like I don't even know if they ever really get that deep into all of it, but it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool show. It was very X-Files-y. I enjoyed it. They had a lot of cool, weird stuff. Monster of the Week kind of thing. At the beginning of the show, that was their goal was to figure out all this kind of stuff. She's the main character in the PS3 game Heavenly Sword. Really? Interesting. Good to know. Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to use my opportunity to be a shill to all of our viewers here today because for two reasons. Number one, if you don't know, and if you've just joined us, why are we here today, Julia? Would you like to tell them, the lovely
Absolutely.
people?
We are here because we are working on the Crimson Diamond to get together on stream. And tonight is a music dev stream. So that's Dan, who's going to be live composing something for us tonight. And every other week, it's me doing game art for the same project.
Yes, it is. And yes, we are. And I'm excited to be here and to do it and be the composer on the Crimson Diamond, which is an EGA text parser set in the very, very early part of the 20th century, starring another female lead by the name. Oh, look at there it is. Sam Tacky, Eyeshadow, and Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
What's better? Starring another female lead named Nancy Maple.
A redhead.
A redhead,
with a
even
bob.
better. My favorite.
Yep.
Gillian Anderson style. She was probably the original influence for Gillian Anderson's character in the X-Files. Right? Is that fair to say?
You know what? I think there is a long and proud tradition of redheaded detectives. Nancy Drew and Gillian Anderson. Well, not what's her name on the show again?
Scully. Dana
Dana
Scully.
Scully.
Yeah.
Dana Scully, Nancy Drew. We have Laura Bow, of course.
Laura Bow.
So she comes from a long, proud tradition of curious ladies, I guess.
Look, she could have had any of 16 colors as her hair option, and she chose red. She chose red. So look at it that way. Thimbleweed Park has one. That's right.
Yes.
The main female character in Thimbleweed Park.
Yeah, and another thing. So yeah, Crimson Diamond. So I think having a redheaded detective is pretty apt for it. Actually, it just ended up being that way because when I started the game.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, when I just started the game, I just created a sprite that reminded me of Laura Bow, and that's why she had red hair. But it actually really worked out thematically for her to have that color hair.
I was going to say the redhead detective it had to be Redhead because it's a detective kind of ish story, and they've got to find the red herring.
Ha!
Wah, 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 wah.
No. Yes, thank you, Sam. See, Sam Jackie also can appreciate a good eyeshadow palette, man. Look at this thing. It's beautiful.
There you go. Let's see what this one sounds like.
Sam Tacky wants to know if I'm going to dye my hair red for the launch. I don't think I will do that, but I'm kind of thinking about buying some diamonds.
Oh, thank you for hosting the stream, Dr. Mikachu.
Yes, thank you.
The baseball organist? I should, right? I should play some.
I definitely have to be awake because I can't do the washout color on dark hair like this. I need to leave it out. Well, you know what? They have good hair mascara stuff, so that's a possibility, I guess.
Hair mascara? Oh, for Halloween? Yeah. They have all that kind of like temporary one-day stuff. A red wig, yeah, you could do that. One-day washout color, I don't know. But even just some of that spray stuff that they sell, hair chalk, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you're totally right, Bill King. Yeah.
So yeah, I started a class recently, Monday actually, yesterday, on JavaScript and Python as the two programming languages. The focus is software engineering, web development. So it's immersive, intensive class, and I was on, not stream, but I was on Zoom like all day, basically. It's like 8 hours a day, so. Oh, Hacksaw Unit says, if I can ask, this is a physical synth that's being used. Yes. How's it going to end up in the game? That's a good question, actually. Yes, it's it's a legitimate MT32, which is behind. You can't really see it from this angle. One day I'll finally be able to set up another camera and show. But it's a Roland MT32 from 1987. And we are using it to provide all the sounds and all the music for the Crimson Diamond. The way it's going to be implemented, though, it'll be implemented in. I'm actually sending the audio assets to Julia, and they're just going to be implemented as audio assets. Unfortunately, there's no MIDI or MT32 system exclusive messages being sent. But, that's something, maybe we'll get there. I don't know. We'll see. But it's a little bit beyond scope at the moment. Yeah, 8 hours a day, Sam Taki. And Jim plays games. What have you coded? Well, I mean, not much, but we're learning. Today was arrays, and we did some loops today, for loops and while loops. What else did we do? Some other interesting stuff that I'm really just not good at. And yes, somebody said something about Doom on the Pico 8. Yes, I did see Doom on the Pico 8 the other day. And, I was sending a text message today. Will they teach you recursion? You mean not putting an infinite loop into the browser to crash it? Yes, they've. Yes. Just to mess with your mind, recursion gives me a headache. I don't know. It's all given me a headache so far, and I've only been there for 16 hours. So.
And how long is this course?
420 hours.
Oof.
So 3 months-ish.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, February. It ends in the early part of February. Stack Overflow, yes. So I actually wanted to read a message here because I got this. This was kind of inspiring earlier today. In addition to the game that I'm working on here with Julia, I'm also working on a game called Empire of Sin, which is a game developed by Romero Games, and it will be published by Paradox Interactive. It is going to be, it's already published by them. It's going to be released on December 1st, 2020. All platforms, Mac, Switch, PS4, Xbox, and PC. And as of today, I found out we are something like number 13 on the top wish-listed games on Steam. So I'm going to be a shill for that game and say, can you please go on, if you haven't wish listed that game on Steam, and 2 games I'm going to be a shill for, please wish list the Crimson Diamond on Steam, and Julia's going to put the link in there now. And maybe, can you also put the link to Empire of Sin in there as well? Wish list, yes, wish list that one as well. I can text it to you, I think.
No, don't worry. I'm on my PC now.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
so I got a message today. I was sending in a group chat that I'm in, of course, about collecting these big box PC games, as we all know, is one of my favorite things to do. What did she say? So I said, I'm about to fall asleep in my class right now talking about arrays. And it would be literally like me on stream going like this. That would be the equivalent of what it is. And I said, and let's see. Dear Dan, arrays were used for the state machines for the AI enemies in Doom. Love, John. That was from John Romero, so that was a nice little pick-me-up. He was encouraging me to stick with it, which is pretty cool. There is an age check on Empire of Sin, yes. We'll have to put that snore in there. You know what? It should be something like, when Jim plays games, has his Shut Up, Wesley. We should have one of those where you can put the thing and somebody turns on the snore thing, and that alerts me that I need to talk about something less boring.
Actually, I really like that idea.
Yeah. String is an array. Mind equals blown. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I don't know much about arrays and all these things, but I kind of know. I'm kind of getting the hang of it, but it's nice to know that I am encouraged despite feeling a little bit out of my element, as it were. An array is basically a list. Yep. A string is an array of characters, depending on the language. Well, JavaScript is what we're basically operating in.
Yes, Eden Wraith 17 says, "You are now in my element, Dan. Welcome to my world."
By the way, Ken Williams randomly added a whole bunch of people on Facebook, and I was one of the lucky random additions to his friend list on Facebook, so I was excited about that.
That's awesome.
Mousimus, you can review my code, but there's nothing to review yet. It's definitely not exciting. And all the stuff I've done so far. You got added too? Nice.
Sweet. Yeah, Ken Williams says he was the one who wrote the entry, gate, age questions in Leisure Suit Larry, which I did not know.
Yeah, I can't pass him still. Okay, I do know the difference between an int and a float. So an int is an integer, which is a whole number of some kind, and a float, a floating point number, has a decimal. So those are the two I know. Double shorts, longs, U-longs, and even a long, I have no idea.
Jim Plays Games wants to know, what are you hoping to do with your new coding skills?
Get a job, I think. Who is HTML isn't really a programming language. I mean, I guess you could call it that, but I don't know if I would consider it like that. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's more just like, what's the best way to describe it? It's programming light, but it's lighter than programming light. I think you could learn HTML in like a day or two. CSS has more to it. You could take a full class on it's a declarative language.
I think Dan already knows more about programming than I do. I don't know the difference between an int and a float, so
But I mean, I don't know. You'd need HTML in 1998. I'm sure is a different one. Aphorama, I'm too new to this to know anything about memes or anything. I'm in a weird way. I have like the weirdest path to this job of anyone on the planet, or even making music for video games. But wasn't HTML only invented in the early 90s, 92 or something, 91, something like that? Just numbers, loops, and if statements. It's declarative. You say what should be there as opposed to actually how to make it happen. Right. You can't actually do functions and things like that. You can't write variables in HTML or anything like that, as far as I understand.
So is this a piece that you actually know, or is it just something you're making up?
I'm making it up.
Beautiful.
Thank you. You know the piece, Judith Butler's Lover? I hope so. I hope not. Career as a lumberjack, yeah. So I actually don't know what we're working on. I'm that out of touch. Thank
Well,
you.
Hacksaw Unit asked, is there a reason you went for the hardware VS using a software solution versus using a software solution simulation?
Two reasons. One, I felt it was more authentic to use the hardware, even though the software is pretty much equivalent. And the second being, I wanted the Roland MT30. Well, maybe three reasons. I wanted the Roland
Yeah.
MT32 anyway, the hardware, for use
Yep.
with my large collection of retro stuff. As you can see back here, there's a lot of stuff that's almost none of which is made in the last 20 years, with the exception of a couple of things. And the third reason is, I don't know. I just I thought it was less challenging to program on the hardware unit than it was on the software unit. Programming that when they made Munt or whatever, I don't think their intention was for somebody to use it as, yes, short answer, I'm a nerd. Thank you. If that wasn't evident by the programming course, but yes.
You were
Probably
nerd way
legally.
before the programming course. Wait a second.
That's true. Yeah. Probably legally questionable since you can't get an MT32 emulator from Roland itself. Well, it's weird. As I understand it, the ROMs that are contained inside the Roland MT32, their copyright has expired. But I'm not exactly sure about that, but that's kind of the general consensus. But either way, yeah, copyright definitely expires, especially on things like, well, in this country anyway, pharmaceuticals have a very short copyright or patent protection. And yes, certain copyright expires with regards to technology as well. Like the Nintendo 64 recently is no longer patented, or the shouldn't say it's no longer patented. The hardware can now be cloned or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Drugs have a 7-year patent before genetics can be made, but I'm sure there's exceptions to it as well.
Oh, Kisai Tenchi, I'm glad you're here because I wanted to thank you for telling me about the how to download the Twitch videos off of Twitch because I couldn't do it without that extra program you cited, which was Streamlink or something like that. So I've been forgetting to tell you that. I wanted to thank you very much for pointing that
Streamlink.
Streamlink. Thank you. Yeah, you pointed me toward that, and I figured it out, and was able to get my streams off of Twitch. So thank you. Just wanted to cut in and say that, and then also Dan almost got himself on the right track himself. So we're gonna totally go for
Almost.
that.
Keyword is almost.
You were so close, and then I think I distracted you, or someone distracted you in chat.
I'm very easily distracted, especially when I'm supposed to be focused on somebody droning on about iterations and oh man, I got to study. Procrastination is a tradition here. Thank you, Jim.
Yes.
I'm glad you
Yes.
understand me. Hold on. Let me spam out some of these links real quick.
Yes. Absolutely.
Or not links, emojis, because if anybody hasn't watched Jim Plays Games, go watch his stream, and also make sure you get a bunch of channel points and cash them in for some Shut Up Wesley's. That's my favorite part. Not of his streams, but of the channel that he's put together. It's pretty awesome. Eventually I'll get there, but not anytime soon because all my time is going to be taken up by variables and this and that, linked lists and static arrays and dynamic arrays. Yes, we talked about 2D arrays today. That was fun. Oh, dear Lord.
So, what we're doing today.
I don't know. You were going to tell me.
Yes, I'm totally going to tell you, like right now, what we're going to do tonight. It's gonna be a musical sting, so it's gonna be short. I'm thinking like 5 to 7 seconds potentially, or longer if you feel like it. What it is, it's gonna be something's gone missing.
Something's gone
That's
missing.
what we're composing tonight.
Tonight we're going to be programming music. Yes, exactly.
I
So
almost said it that way too.
let's do this. Oh, you guys can't see it. Hold on. Let's see if we can. There we go. Perfect. Let's see if we can find. We're going to do a little cloning here. Clone of the repo. Version control. Didn't we talk about version control 2 weeks ago? We did, right? Let's see. We are going to save copy in. We actually don't need that. And what'd you guess? Something's missing sting?
Yeah, something is missing sting, which does sound like a back to school special starring Sting. Like maybe he's a detective and
Well, funny story about Sting. I actually submitted a whole bunch of music to him. I'm not sure if it's gone to him yet, but it might have gotten screwed up by the pandemic. But I did submit a bunch of music to him at one point.
Was it like ska?
Yeah, it was reggae tracks,
Okay.
some dance hall stuff. I was trying to get a song together with him and Sean Paul. You never know. That may still work out. I remember introducing Sean Paul and Ellie Goulding years and years ago. I think there's a picture that you showed, right? With myself
Yes.
and Robin Thicke and Ellie Goulding and the old drummer. So
No, I
anyway,
don't know about that one.
no?
No.
Anyway, Robin Thicke and Ellie Goulding were on the same festival as we were. So I went to see her because this was just after I worked with her. And she was like, I was like, yeah, do you want to come meet Sean? She's like, yeah. So she comes over, meets Sean, and then a couple years later, they did a record together. I don't know if the record ever came out, but there is a record at some point
Somewhere.
that will maybe come out or maybe not. Was it stolen? The missing thing missing. Was it stolen? Well, you know what? I don't know. I think we probably can't answer that. I'll tell you why I can't answer it, because I don't know. So we'll leave it at that.
It's basically something is missing. Something is. It's just a kind of like I never played them, but those Metal Gear Solid something. When you get noticed or something. It doesn't have to be like that. Just like a. Yeah, it could be like
That's
that,
the
or
Metal
even
Gear Solid
something a bit
noticed.
longer potentially.
A sting is pretty short. Like how? Well, I mean, it's not pretty short. It's definable. It's user definable. There's a programming thing, right?
Yeah, sure.
The chicken hat. Yeah, I was thinking more the. There's a lot of pretty cool items in that game. There's the wolf. Sniper Wolf has her handkerchief that you can get. Which
What is this game?
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay, I don't know.
There's
This
the
game
chicken
so
hat. There's my favorite item is probably the cyborg ninja outfit, which makes you invisible. which is pretty cool. There's that game is so deep. Did you ever play that?
No,
Holy
I've never had a
cow.
console.
Jim, you should play that on stream, man. That one of my favorite games. And now, if you don't have like, a PS1 deal, you can just download GOG has them both available. Or if you just happen to have a PC big boxed copy, wait, I gotta show this off for real. I mean, if you happen to have
We were so close.
Big box PC copy of the game, I almost got another one the other day, but it was too much money. Ugh, this isn't gonna fit now. Well, we'll put it here.
So yeah, it doesn't have to be a sting necessarily. It can be, or it can be just a short little piece to indicate something's gone missing, kind of thing. Beautiful. Yep.
The Millennium Falcon Lightspeed. Maybe not that. Ah, no, Dan, that's the opposite of user defined. Yeah, that's all right. Whatever. Space Quest noises. Something's gone missing. I think we need more information.
Okay.
By the way, I still don't think I can pronounce Divor's name.
Well, it depends how you usually pronounce deity. Do you pronounce deity or deity?
Davor.
Yeah, Deivor.
Deivor? Is that right? Changeable variable type of unchangeable variable. Now, if you set this, now hold on. If you set a const, let's see, list equals, and then you
I'm
set
gonna start swatching my eyeshadow.
and then you send it, and you set it to an array. Technically, even though it's a constant, you can still change the information in the array. But if it was a string or a number, you would not be able to change that variable. But if you set it as a let, now you would be able to change any information. You could even change that array to a string or a number or whatever you wanted to do it. That's JavaScript anyway. They allow you to do all kinds of wacky stuff. She climbed the highest mountain. Boat Shack. I like this. Are you doing like a makeup tutorial at the same time?
I'm swatching them on my arms. Have you finished talking about coding?
No.
Okay.
We'll paint them in your hair and see if the hair color works for the stream.
I don't think it's gonna work, but I can try. No.
Yeah, list is probably not a variable you can declare because it's something else, some function in the language. Now here's the real deal. If I can, by the end of this 3 months, if I actually know how like at least partially how to code, that's proof that anybody can learn it. So, other than the Metal Gear Solid reference, what other references would you have in mind? What are the kind of things are you thinking?
Okay, let's see. That's kind of a tricky one because it's one of those tracks like the chapter bookends where it plays in the background, so it's not something. It's not like the cutscene music where it has to loop.
It's
It
just
can
one
just play
thing
for
that
it.
happens.
Yes, yeah. So that's a good thing because it makes it a little bit simpler to do. So kind of that's why it's sort of it doesn't really necessarily matter. It can be a sting, or it could be nice just to have it be something that comes in and then fades out. I kind of want. I can leave it up to you, but yeah, the reason I can't make it more specific as to something is missing is because I've got at least 2 or 3 places where I want to use it, and for each of those situations, it's going to be a different context.
Okay. How about
But
the
for
timing
example,
of it?
let's
The
say
timing is
there,
could be 10 seconds.
if you want, like honestly, anything you feel like for this is pretty flexible. Because
Okay.
the player is still moving around and doing whatever they want to do while that just plays in the background, and then stops whenever or fades out whenever you want it to do that.
Let's jump back to here.
Um, yep. So just as an example of the not in the game, but as an example of something similar would be, you've been walking around and you've seen a certain thing that someone's using, and then you come back and it's not there anymore, and then you notice that. Or when you mention to that person, oh, I noticed something is not there anymore, and then they start getting upset about it or whatever. If it's not there anymore, then they're wondering something's missing.
Yeah. Okay. That kind of makes a little more sense.
So Maximus wants to know, that's weird, probably nothing, or oh, that's not good. Probably, oh, that's not good.
That's a little too not good. Not so
Yeah,
much not
yeah,
good. Okay, so let's see.
yeah.
That's cool.
Maybe something not as
Too ominous.
what's that?
Too ominous.
Yeah, too ominous. So maybe something go higher. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Maybe it's also a different sound too, but it's close. That's pretty cool.
Ooh, that's nice. Because you can just imagine Nancy having that in the background,
That's
like, and
kind
the
of what
player
I'm
can
thinking.
move around as they please still, and then it just fades out, and you're left to figure out what's going on.
I think that's probably close to it, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. It's something. It's kind of. I like how it's it's simple and a little like rhythmic, and it's prompting the player almost to do something.
I like that. Yeah, you have
Deluxe
to.
Talk.
No, Deluxe Tuck. You have to do a git commit, and then with the -m and type in your message, and then git push origin master, and then you'll be good. Something like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah.
I think it's too. I don't like it with the metronome. Actually, it feels too. I don't know. I feel like it needs to be more loose. So here's what I'll do. This is. I don't even know what sound this is. Let me make a note of that.
Oh, yeah, we should definitely try a few different instruments too.
I think it's a flute or something. Oh, Deluxe Tux. I thought that was just a clever insult, but it was funnier when I thought it was. Let's see. So, in Pro Tools, you don't have the ability to do version control exactly, but this is kind of similar. You can make a new playlist, which will take away what you just played in that track and give you the same track with every setting. I mean, it's more important when you're not using an MT32, when you're using modern instruments. But it'll give you a new playlist, and you didn't want to get rid of what you already had. So if you want to go back, you can go there, and this will be the new playlist. So I'm going to turn off the metronome because I kind of felt like it was boxing me in the wrong way.
Yeah, like I totally agree. It should be looser and more
Looser. Yeah,
irregular.
more. It's more like I'm feeling out what she's seeing. I'm just kind of envisioning Nancy wandering around looking for something or whatever. Good Lord, man.
Exactly.
You took some damage on that arm. Close. That's close. So let's try this.
Nancy lost a contact lens.
So now we want to. I'm going to save this here, and I could do a new playlist again if I want. But I just moved this to another track, so it wouldn't affect what I already did. Let's see what this sounds like. That's the wrong sound.
It's X-Files.
It's a little too creepy.
Yes.
That's nice. And maybe if that layered with something else, that would be really nice.
Yes, I agree.
That's very nice. Now if I can make it quieter, it'll be even nicer. So one nice feature about Logic Pro X that Pro Tools I don't believe has, and I'm running an older, slightly older version anyway. This is 12.5, which is pretty old. Now they don't use version numbers anymore because, like Photoshop, they are subscription only. And they're very expensive, in my opinion. I think it's $400 per year. And probably I should get it because I do use the software that much, and it is kind of my income. But regardless, let's see. Yeah, it's pricey. That's better.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, do you guys know what test I just did just now? Yeah, but Adobe Creative Cloud gives you a whole bunch of software even with Pro Tools is one piece. Just audio. For Creative Cloud, you must get what? Photoshop. What's the other one? Lightroom?
Oh, Creative Cloud is everything, I think. Yeah.
Premiere. All of the stuff.
InDesign, Illustrator.
InDesign. Yeah, that's a ton of top-notch products. Avid, if you want any of the other Avid stuff, you got to pay additionally. I mean, not that I don't even know the other Avid products like that, but they were a video company, and then they bought out DigiDesign many, many years ago. Sam Tech, you probably know that story better than me. Right. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, exactly. Well, they have Audition, too, which is audio software, which is an actual DAW of sorts. But I think that's free. By the way, my point was, did you guys all see the test that I just did? Probably nobody observed it, but if you go back and watch the video on demand, or you can clip it, basically what I just did is I used the test. I was playing stuff until I heard a funny sound coming from the other streamer that I'm on with. And she said,
What?
All you did was say, that was the cue that I know I'm onto something, right? I use that. I teach that to my students in my my music production class. And what I say to them is use the nod test. Is everybody going like this? Or is everybody on their phone, ignoring whatever it is that you're playing? Because if they're on their phone, you got to go back and do better. If they're all doing this, then you got something. That's the nod test. This is a different version of the nod test.
I like that too.
Close. We're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to save that, but do one more pass. Child's Play? I never saw that movie. Who did the music for that one? Aforama. Oh, and thank you, Hacksaw Unit and Cosmic Void 3. Yes, and Feroy, that means you're very much... That's the nodding off test. That's a different test. That means either the studio is too drunk, which happens, or too high, which also happens, or both, or possibly 6, 7 o'clock in the morning because you've been recording all night. That happens as well. Oh yeah, what I was going to say was the reason I like Logic Pro X versus Pro Tools, there's a feature called capture recording, which basically means anytime I'm playing MIDI, the software is actually recording. Whether I see it or recording or not is a different story, but it's recording all the time. Whereas Pro Tools, I have to make sure I hit record, otherwise I can lose something. But in Pro Tools Logic, if I'm just playing along with a track, and I'm like, man, that was awesome, I wish I would have recorded it, it's actually there if you hit the capture recording function. Yeah, Child's Play. I figured it was the movie. I never saw the movie, but I wonder who did the music for that. I mean, that was in the era when they still, they still had budgets for proper musicians and proper music, and cared about it instead of just being, wubs and wumps. What do they call them? Brahms. Brahms. That's what they call the low Hans Zimmer noises.
Oh,
Yeah.
I call those warps.
Yeah, burps. What?
Warp.
Yeah, braps. They're called all those things. So what did you? I heard you describe them pretty well one day. Forget what you said. They
Yeah,
sounded like.
BWAAAAARRP.
Yeah, the trailer noise. Yeah. No, but you said it sounded like something else.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what happened. So Hans Zimmer came onto the scene and kind of changed the approach the cinematic fart. Yes, I believe that was what it was. That's what it is, and there's no melody to speak of. It's not. I don't know. It's not my favorite. That's why you appreciate now all the composers that wrote with all that melody, the Alan Silvestris, the John Williams, obviously. A lot of those guys feel like that. Or you have soundtracks that are just heavily licensed, but some of them are pretty good. Like the Bumblebee soundtrack, I think is exceptional, but you can feel the way you want to feel about the movie, but the soundtrack is fantastic.
well, how do you feel about John Carpenter?
What songs did he do?
He did did he do like Halloween?
Halloween's cool. I never really watched it. I'm not a big horror movie fan, to be honest.
Let me look up John Carpenter because he does pretty spare stuff too, but it's pretty effective.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Halloween, Escape from New York.
Isn't that Snake?
But yes.
Snake Plissken?
Yep.
Iroquois, not to be confused with Iroquois Pliskin.
What?
Anybody? Somebody will talk about
No.
that.
Oh yeah, Bill Clinton, Return to Oz is one of my favorites. It's awesome.
I never saw it.
It's really good. It holds up. It's like late 80s, early 90s scary that it would be too scary now for kids, but we got to see that stuff.
But aren't some of them
really
kind of cute? Like they were scary, and then you see like some of the movies in HD, and you're like, yeah, that's not gonna do it.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
yeah, that could be the case.
Versus like VHS on your really crappy JVC, CRT. It was like, oh my God, what is that? I can't really tell. It's scaring the crap out of me. Yeah. Then you see that it's a puppet.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, Freddy Krueger. Huh. There's a really good. I think it's GDC talk. No, it's not a GDC talk. Well, anyway, one of the talks that Brenda Romero gave, and she's mentioning Doom and about how at the time it was like, parents were in an uproar over it. They were going nuts. They were like, "Oh my God, this video game is so offensive and so whatever." And then meanwhile, if you look back on it now, it's like you're shooting at some clay puppets or whatever. Yeah. And literally they were clay puppets, I think. Feroy, I love Hackers and Hardware soundtracks, both pretty industrial. So Hackers is a cool movie. I'm actually friends with one of the actors in the movie, but I never saw the movie. The guy's name is Renely Santiago. Super nice guy. He was also in Con Air, and he was the kind of like girly guy that was in Con Air. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. But
I didn't, I don't think.
Renely's like the sweetest guy on the planet. And a singer too, does Broadway. Well, I'm not sure exactly what he's doing at the moment because there's nothing going on. He's probably acting. But he sent me something when they did the Hackers anniversary the other day. Yep, Con Air with Nicolas Cage. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Germany banned it for being too graphic. No, I think that was Wolfenstein. I'm pretty sure that was Wolfenstein. Yeah. Renely, I'm sure he had a flamboyant role in Hackers. He had an extremely flamboyant role in Con Air. And he's a rather flamboyant guy in person, but he's a really nice guy. Really talented. Yeah, I never saw it. I want to see it. I'd love to, like, hang out with him one day and watch it. Say, yo, dude, tell me about this. What was this like?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wolfenstein has a different issue. Freak. I don't know who he was. Should we look him up? Let's look him up. He'll appreciate it. Then we can clip this and I'll send it to him, and he'll be happy about it.
Oh, nice.
Hackers. He was in Dangerous Minds. That's right. Yep, Freak. Let's see. That's Renly right there. Right there in the middle. Oh, Angelina Jolie was in the movie too. Oh, there you go.
Hackers? Yeah.
Yep. And this dude from Scream. What's his name? It looks like the dude from Scream if it's not him.
I actually haven't seen Hackers.
No, I never saw it either. I got to see it.
Now that you're going to be a hacker.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, here. Oh, this is 20. No, so they must have done the 25th anniversary. Yep. Latin Friends. Anyway, we'll jump back. Did they rollerblade everywhere? That's funny.
I had rollerblades.
Oh, I was a definite rollerblader. Oh, by the way, so here's another one. You don't use a Mac, so it's probably less applicable to you. But I have been told that I should no longer use the mouse and the dock, even though my dock is nice and clean. There's only, 6 items in it. I should be using the Spotlight. Whoops. The Spotlight if I'm not. Oh, I think I turned Spotlight off for Pro Tools. But I should be using Command Spacebar, which opens up the Spotlight search, and that's how I should be opening apps from now on. And I shouldn't be using these because it's faster. Development is much faster without that stuff. Crazy, right? I used to love rollerblading until I broke my tibia and fibula. Well, I stopped, to be honest. I stopped because I was afraid of busting up a hand. So I just stopped altogether. All operating system user interfaces are terrible. Yeah, interestingly enough, for the class I'm taking, we needed to use Mac. They don't, whatever they're doing, they don't want you to use PC, although I haven't seen much of anything so far that seems to be PC driven. But either way, if any game had a UI as awful as Windows, it would be panned for. Yeah, you're probably right, if you think about it that way. So should we do any like percussion on this? That might be kind of cool.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. I'm nodding a lot.
What's that? Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
It's a hot song right there. I probably know the Mortal Kombat theme. How does that one go? I used to play it all the time on MP3 back in the day. Did I? There you go. That's not what I want though. Channel 10 we need.
Mission Impossible Crimson Diamond due to the Butler's Lever. Totally. That'll be the DLC. I like Johnny Mnemonic. That holds up. I saw it recently.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
I never saw that one either.
It's really good. He has what? How much is his brain? How much can Keanu Reeves' brain hold in that Johnny Mnemonic? I think it's like 200 megabytes or something. I don't. How someone's gonna know in chat. I'll look it up. It's really funny.
Nice one, Mousimus. Got the Akai MPK Mini. Have I got any recent musical instruments? I don't think so, but I've been looking. I've been considering some. I got a MacBook Pro, not the one I'm using. Terabytes, 200 terabytes.
2 terabytes?
Well, 200 terabytes still significant.
Let's see. I'm trying to find out the brain capacity. 80 gigabytes.
That's below the Windows 98 hard drive size limit, which is 137 gigabytes. I'm not a nerd. If it's terabytes, it's a different story. 80 terabytes significant, or 200 terabytes is significant.
Oops.
I mean, 80 gigabytes is significant for like a single application, but I don't know. I mean, how big is some of the updates, like Grand Theft Auto 5? That's probably about 90 gigabytes, right? But there's a lot of logic. Man, that's such a great game. How many applications are in my head? None. I have a few. Eat, sleep, breathe. That's about it. Eat again.
Keanu Reeves can't run The Witcher 3.
Yeah, Witcher 3, right?
80 gigabytes. So, like, how many movies is that?
That's right. Eat, sleep, breathe, Troll Julia. Probably not in that order. Troll Julia is slightly higher up on the list.
Then breathe?
Well.
Trolling Julia is breathing.
Yeah. You should try it sometime.
I did it to myself already when I was playing the trailer that you made. I stopped it kind of before I was probably finished with the voiceover, so I interrupted myself with myself.
Oh man. Always. Yeah. But so much storage is assets like textures. Yes. Yep. That's the audio is a significant thing, a significant asset size. I mean, it's not as bad as graphics probably, but the audio can take up a lot, especially if you have like a lot of voiceover or something. I mean, in Julia's game, it's probably going to be as big as the game or more.
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably more.
Just in terms of the audio itself,
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about everything, graphics included. So we're compressing just via OGG files, which is it's kind of I think it's an open source compressed format that's supported by AGS, because MP3 wasn't open source for the longest time. You had to pay for the license. I think you can download something, and it also plays WAV files, but if you use WAV files, then the audio assets for the game would greatly dwarf anything. I mean, a 4-ish minute song, WAV file is about 75 megabytes.
Yeah, it's nuts how big those things are.
So that's a lot. Holtzen, was Black and White 2 a good game? Because I always thought Black and White 2 was kind of a disappointment. But am I wrong about that? I liked Black and White 1. You loved it? So maybe I'm wrong about that then. Well, so I don't know about that, Jim, because it takes up more RAM, but it also takes more CPU to do the decoding and the decompression, doesn't it? I don't know. I mean, all the MIDI files I'm have, but they're only playable on an MT32. They're not like, formatted correctly or whatever. Is Anna out of here? Good night, Anna. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, have a good night.
Yeah. Yes, Jim Plays Games is right. Decoding a single OGG file is trivial for a modern CPU, but we're also playing, we're also using doing an EGA game that some people will be playing. It does run on Windows XP, right? Somebody sent it to you on Windows XP the other day.
Yep.
General software, it has to load the entire file into memory. I wonder how it works with larger games. I guess that's why if you're going to do a modern like AAA game, they all have to be done in C++, just because everything is so speed sensitive. Audio especially. You want to hear the footsteps as soon as it happens and all whatever. Hacksaw Unit, thank you for lurking, and then thank you for coming and hanging out and chatting with us.
Thanks for
Lurking is welcome,
thanks for
chatting
having
is welcome, whatever you want to do is cool. Unity is in C#. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So if you load an OGG or FLAC, it has to load into RAM before it plays it. If you want to seek in a compressed file, it's complicated and often requires guessing. Really? That's true, optimization. Well, actually, Empire of Sin is made in Unity, but the scripting is with Lua. So I'm not exactly sure how they did it. I don't know much about... Oh yeah, I'm sure the Unity engine is not coded in C#. Yeah, I don't know about seeking. Really, is that a big thing, Kisai Tenchi? Because it happens. A couple of weeks ago, was it last week, Julia, or 2 weeks ago? We were watching Francisco's stream, and he actually showed the process for his adaptive music in A Golden Wake. Were you on that?
That was a while ago.
Was that like 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Longer?
I feel like it was longer.
Well, I have no sense of time, but...
Me either.
He was showing how he did it. So he actually had it seek. So wherever you went into the building or out of the building, it would seek to a different point in the tracks that he had playing or whatever. Yeah, I don't think you can get into the Unity engine in C++, but the Unreal Engine I know is in C++. What I have been told, and I probably have said this before, is that if you want to do AAA games, you need to learn C++, and more indie games are done in Unity, but a lot of them are going to use Unreal now because of the new licensing agreements, I think. So I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Deluxe Tux, you were there. Yeah. Was it? I don't think it was 4 months ago. But it was a while. Maybe it was a couple weeks ago. 4 weeks. That sounds right. But he showed it, and it was cool. And there was a lot of seeking going on, and it didn't seem to affect anything. A 10-minute audio file, if it's not... How many bytes do you see? If it's not compressed, you know exactly what... Right. Interesting. You're better at this than me. You know this way better than I do. Right, C or C++. That makes sense. Can't wait to put a 42 megabyte hard drive in my new 386. Yeah, so the problem is, Bill, that a lot of those older motherboards, you don't really know what the limits of those motherboards are. They're not software limited, they're motherboard hardware limited. So yeah, but for indie or adventure games, C# or Lua are great. Yeah, I mean, certainly, you know, speed sensitivity isn't like a huge issue with AGS games for the most part. And you can do arcade sequences, right? You can do stuff like that if you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you want. Which, you know.
Do you want? That's always
we
the
don't
question. I want like a triangle sound, but I don't think there is one. Yeah, Subnautica does look amazing. Are you still working your way through that? Jim plays games? Nice.
That's not bad.
That's pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Not recording. Oh, yes, I was. Whoops. Amateur hour. Thank you for the follow, Jellybean. I saw that. Appreciate it. Let's listen to this back. Ivor. I can't pronounce your name. I will never get it. Oh, dear Lord, man.
I don't know. Maybe the percussion's too much. I don't know.
Well, let's hear it in context, and let me turn it down some more. You can see me trying, though, right?
Whatever that is, the wood block, what is it?
Some kind of wood block. I like that too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe what we do is this. Mute this. Just go like this. Cobalt and Fortran coding. I'm sure Ken Williams...
I don't think I'll ever do a coding stream because it would. You don't want to see that. No one wants to see that.
Maybe I will by that time.
Okay.
Our first project in the class is to make a game, so that'll be pretty cool. You know, the problem with these sounds is some of them are just a little bit on the ridiculous side.
That's not a problem. That's like a feature.
Pong is tough because Pong requires a lot of math. And I think the game that I would make would be like a card game copy or something like that. Nothing complex. Although I did start with Pico 8, I got a decent way through it before changing it up. But you know what's nice, and I'll tell you what, this is the nice part about learning to code with a class versus learning to code before. I was kind of just watching some YouTube tutorials on Python. I watched some on Pico 8 and Lua. Not too many. I tried originally a couple of years back on C++, but it was for audio, and I don't know. Yes, Mousimus, I do want to recreate rhythmicity. But the thing is, for that game, you would need, I don't know, I feel like you'd need something. No, you could probably do it with something like that. I don't know. Pico 8 is dope, but I'd rather just waste 80 megabytes. I don't think it's 80 megabytes. I think the limit is 32 kilobytes. I think it's like a same size as a NES, the Super Mario Brothers. Isn't Super Mario Brothers like 32 or 27 kilobytes or something like that? Oh yeah, text parsers. I can't imagine. Julia can. She can tell you all about the headaches of that.
Well, I guess it doesn't. I was thinking more like Text Adventure isn't just an adventure that doesn't have pictures. It could still be like clicking on choices, you know, something that you'd find in Twine, potentially. Like maybe not like an actual text parser. Those are pretty easy to do because they're basically like flowcharts.
So you did N64 coding? God, that's insanity. I don't know. But who was saying, was it Mousimus where you were saying you wanted to do some coding streams? You know what you could do, and I've been watching some coding streams. I don't watch them a lot because some of them are cool, some of them are boring. There's a girl on there called Lana. What the hell is her name? Lana Codes or something? I follow her. I don't remember. Coding with Lana or something. But she has a lot of people watch them. And she plays music the whole time, pretty much. No, it's not Lana Del Rey. If it is, then she looks different. But she's like making a game. I don't know what the game's about, but the streams, there's a lot of people that watch the stream. It's like a
Cool.
few hundred people watching the stream every time I'm watching. So I wish I had more time to do it. I just don't get a lot of time. The nice thing is, if I do have time during the day, Jim Plays Games is on because he's in the UK and he's 4 hours, well, now 4 hours ahead of me. So if you're on the West Coast, you can watch him early in the morning. Well, not early, but in the early part of the morning. It's nice to be able to watch him. You watch a fair number of coding streams. Well, shout out some of the good ones if you know any of the good ones. I don't know. You streamed the development of a small game from Ludum Dare a few weeks back. So, Jim, but most of your streams are playing games as opposed to making your games, because I know you're working on a game that's coming out soon too, an RPG. Yeah. I think it might not need the percussion.
I get that feeling too. Unless it's the wood block.
I don't think it needs the wood block. I think that's kind of a cool little ending. It's long, though. It's not short. It's like 20 some seconds, 23, 20 seconds, 20 something seconds. What is it? I can't count.
Well, like I said, it might not be a bad thing. It's just something that would play softly in the background and then fade.
It's going to be
So
longer
it's
than
not a
that.
huge
So
deal.
this is saying it's about 28 seconds. Could be longer. Play Dungeon Man's, aka Jim Shepard, has a good game dev stream. That's pretty cool. Yeah, John Romero does have a stream channel, but I haven't seen him stream, only on replays from years ago. But Empire of Sin does streams every Thursdays. Oh, which you should watch those too. They're at 11 a.m. Eastern time, but they're not really dev streams. They're more like, introducing you to the game. Like if you know any Paradox Interactive games, a lot of them are pretty complex. Like there's a lot of strategy games, a lot of different Europa Universalis, Crusader Kings 3, Surviving Mars. They have another one called Stellaris, Prison Architect, Age of Wonders, and those are pretty much all strategy sim, city skylines, strategy sim style games. So a lot of those games, it's nice to watch the stream because you can kind of learn about the game if you want to play it. Empire of Sin, I think the learning curve for Empire of Sin should be lower than those other games. It's complex still, but I don't think it's going to, be nearly as difficult as something like Crusader Kings 3. Like that's a game that I had a ton of fun playing and I had no idea what I was doing at the same time. So I don't know. Yeah, you learned about how to play Civilization well by definitely not playing Civilization. Yeah, Civilization, I guess my brother taught me how to play the first one. I loved it. I don't find it that difficult, but as they went on, I kind of lost it because they got more difficult. And I was kind of like, okay, what am I doing? Why is it isometric now? I liked it better when I could just see everything, But the first one I really liked. I think that's my favorite, Civilization. Did you play any of those games?
No, actually, I did not.
Did you only play adventure games? No, you did other stuff.
No, I played adventure games. I played role-playing games. That's pretty much it. I mean, well, in the earlier DOS games, you just played what you got. So, some Burger Time and that type of thing, like little arcade games here and there. But I pretty much focused most on the RPGs and the adventure games.
Interesting. Yeah, Civilization Revolution, I loved. I played it on iOS on my iPad, and it's one of the best, along with XCOM, which somehow they managed to port to iOS.
Holy cow.
I played it on my iPad, and it was fantastic. Fantastic. Stellaris, because it was too addictive. Wow.
I have a friend who loves Stellaris, yeah.
I haven't played it yet. I don't have time, really. That's the problem. Hopefully when I'm done with this course and all of these things and I figure out how to do less in my life, then I'll do it. But, yeah, for now, I don't know. Because tomorrow I got another nice long 8-hour day, and I'm going to try to get up for my Romero Games meeting at 5:45, and
Oh man.
I'm lucky because the UK just went on daylight savings time, so now they're only 4 hours time change instead of 5 hours. Oh, Amiga Bill, the man is here. Let's just shout him out right away. I mean,
Yes.
how much more needs to be said about Amiga Bill? A lot, but he's the man. And an Amiga fan. By the way, Amiga Bill, that's all good, brother. I hope you're back to doing your thing in your daily career. I know you're back to doing your thing all over on the streaming. I've been seeing it. But I bought myself another Amiga the other day. I got another Amiga 1200 in a box, and it's got to get sent. It made it to my friend's place in London, and my buddy who lives in London works for FedEx, and so he sends them over to me because a lot, for a fact, a lot of the guys, most of the Amiga guys are, I would think, in Europe somewhere. Thank you. Yeah, so the 1200 is the best. Well, I already had a 1200, but this one had a box, and it came with some cool games. I think I saw Monkey Island in there, boxed, and a couple others, so I just couldn't resist. I grabbed it, and it's going to get sent over. But a lot of them, I think that's the tough part about collecting Amiga here, is there's not a ton of NTSC units. Most of the Amiga units are PAL, I would think, although I prefer some of the NTSC games. And I still would like to get an Amiga 1000, so maybe one day I'll get somebody to trade me. I'll trade my 1200 for a 1000 or something like that. But the 1200 and the 500, the 600, the 500 plus, the 1200 are all like units, kind of like you'd see the Commodore 64. They're just a keyboard with like an extension. Everything's built in. But then if you have the 1000, the 2000, 3000, 4000, which you're not going to find the 4000s. You're not even really going to find the 2 or 3000s, but they're more like desktop units, like you'd be used to seeing in that era. Yeah, the 1200 can do either PAL or NTSC. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The 1200 is 200 better than a 1000. It's kind of interesting. Math. Well, if you watch Amiga Bill's stream, you'll learn way more about it because, oh man, as somebody who doesn't know any Spanish but just enough to be dangerous, Amiga is a great one, a great name. But yeah, I mean, if you want to know about Amiga, watch Amiga Bill's stream because there's no better place to learn. There's no better guy to learn from. I mean, he had David John Pleasance on, who I'm still amazed by, who was he was a VP of Commodore UK, I think, and he had written a book, and he went on Amiga's Bill's stream to talk about the book and stuff. And yeah, Commodore, legendary company for a short amount of time, and then unfortunate ending. Kind of unfortunate, like the Sierra book that Ken Williams just wrote. He was a CEO of Commodore UK. Oh, there you go. He was the cat. Wow. He was the guy. So yeah, and I agree. Jim plays games. Amiga games are an endless well of fascinating strangeness. If you want to play a fascinatingly strange Amiga game, look no further than a game called Terramex, if you're in the PAL territory. So Terramex for you, Jim. And for us, it would be called Cosmic Relief. It is a strange game, but really interesting. The only Commodore branch making a profit in 1994. It's a shame. We all lament about this on the Facebook groups and in the community. And there's a lot of unfortunately, there's a lot of weirdness in the Amiga retro community with people making hardware. There's a lot of licensing problems and all kinds of stuff. Cosmic Relief is nothing. Probably. I don't like that sound. I think we got what we need here. What do you think, Julia? Should we add more to it? I feel like we shouldn't.
I think it's pretty good as it is. I did like the woodblock. I wouldn't mind hearing the woodblock again, but
you can hear it.
Probably just need it.
Let's play it once without it, and then let's play once with it.
Okay.
I like it. What do you think? I could send you both. We can decide later. We don't have to decide now.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
God we're
I
recording
actually,
this too, so who cares? We can do whatever we want.
yeah. Actually, yeah. I gotta add that to the list that I should be keeping of stuff that we need to add to the game, which
Oh,
is
that's a good idea. Let's do a Twitch poll. How do you do it on OBS? Can you? I don't know.
you do it straight on on the Twitch
Yeah, but you must be able to do
thing.
it in OBS too. No?
Oh, I don't know.
Slow mode. I mean, I was able to do emotes only chat for a little bit. Clear my chat settings. I don't know. Don't know.
Possibly, very possibly. Yeah, another poll in the same night.
Whoops. I just dumped the chat. Whoops. You know, that's
I've
the
got
one
it.
thing I don't like. When you dump the chat, you can't see what's been
Yes,
chatted about. That's really irritating.
I totally agree.
Native nuns on the Mac. I love the sound of that, Amiga Bill. Probably FSUAE. Now, what's the interesting thing about Mac? There's a video of a guy doing it. I prefer nuns. Runs is okay, but native nuns on the Mac sounds a lot
Oh,
better.
I see. I finally got it.
I think there's a video where they're showing, because it's the same chip, the same CPU, where they're emulating Mac OS on an Amiga 1200, and it actually runs more efficiently than the Mac with the actual native hardware and doing the same thing. There's probably a few videos, and there's something called what was it called? It wasn't called Morph OS back then, was it, Amigaville? It was called something like that. This is just cool nerd stuff. I love it. I always have. Old Mac OS, yeah, 90s Mac OS. The Amiga was the fastest Mac implant board. Yeah, because it was the same CPU up until they stopped using the Motorola CPUs. And now, interestingly enough, I'm sure everybody already knows this, but they're going to their own CPUs again. So I got a 2019 Mac. Oh yeah, the Amiga's all 68,000s. Every Amiga, as far as I know, is only a 68,000 of some kind. 6810, 6820, 60. And if you watch Amiga Bill streams, he'll talk about the 6860, I think, is the chip that everybody's trying to get. They're stupidly expensive now. It's like you could buy a brand new Ryzen and it would be cheaper than 6860, which is the number's actually what? Why isn't this working now? Yeah, that CPU is I think you're going to pay $400 for one. If you want to buy one, they're really rough. $400 for one CPU, and that's for the Amiga 4000. Oh, there you go. Never mind. Yeah, that's the board, but just the CPU alone, I think, is that. So $700. That's insanity. Yep, the 6502 chips are easy to get, and you know the 6502 was also Apple. I believe the Apple II was a 6502, right? I think that's why John Romero has such an affection for Apple and is, always is interested in learning about NES coding for 6502, because he loved it to code in assembly for 6502. Apple II era. Is the Apple II GS also a 6502? I'm not too sure. I think it is. I have an Apple II GS WAS edition, which I've showed off. Assembly. Is there a reason they can't manufacture more of the chips? The GS was the CPU and the SNES. Oh, gotcha. because it had graphics and sound. Yeah, it might have been more megahertz because I think what the 6502 is only 2 megahertz or something like that. I'm not too sure. I don't know. Jim plays games, but if you're into FPGA at all, there's a unit called the Mister FPGA, and basically what it does is it doesn't. It's not emulating. It's FPGA, which is Field Programmable Gate Array. I guess it just means that it completely emulates the chip down to like the physical level of the chip, the CPU. It's pretty amazing, and I want to get one. Programmable hardware, but how would you describe it? It's not emulation. I mean, it is emulation, but it's like not emulation. So I've played the Neo Geo, for example, on my buddy's FPGA, Mr. FPGA. It looks and sounds exactly like a Neo Geo should. Because a lot of times my biggest problem with emulation was the fact that it doesn't sound right most of the time. Emulates clocks, gates, RAM, etc. Yes. Hardware emulation. Gotcha. It's what if you buy the analog NT or if you buy the analog any of those analog consoles. What's the one I have? The AVS. Those are all FPGAs. They run on FPGAs. You can get perfect emulation. It's done in parallel. Yeah, yeah. So you're not getting a lot. The Mister is the closest thing to being. Well, how much of a difference do you notice? Do you notice a lot of a difference between the Mister and the real Amiga Bill? Because I feel like I couldn't tell. I loaded up something on my buddies, and I said, "Wow, this game doesn't usually load properly in the emulators. This thing loaded right up. Can't tell." There you go. And if you plug that into a 1084, I guess the only way you can tell is because it's not on a proper keyboard, Amiga keyboard. So physically you can tell the difference. But other than that, it's probably it. I don't. Some emulation is okay. Heathen plays games. I mean, Jim plays games, but I think the FPGA dude, you'd notice. I think you'd notice. I think you would. If you ever watch any of the other streamers too, like you ever watch Hungry Goria? She's great. She's also in Canada, by the way, Julia. Do you know Hungry Goria?
I've watched her streams.
Yeah. She does
Yeah.
only real hardware. So I became an instant fan when I found that out.
Nice. Yep.
Ah, so you can attach a real Amiga keyboard to it with a Kira adapter. Interesting. I actually have an Amiga 600 shell that supposedly some guy retrofit an i5 CPU in there. I haven't even looked at it. And because he said it was busted, I have it in my basement or my back room somewhere, so I don't know. Has anyone done a double blind test? Well, see, the thing is I don't think you could do a double blind test because with an Amiga, I mean, I guess you could if you plugged in the keyboard and hit it, but you'd have to have like an Amiga keyboard. I don't have an Amiga keyboard. I just have a 1200 or a 500, which the unit, the CPU, everything is built into the keyboard. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's our Amiga stream for tonight. Thank you for tuning into Amiga Dan and Amiga Julia. What's that?
No, I'm surprised and pleased to see people can talk about this stuff, and I can't at all, but it's really cool to see everyone can relate to this.
Well, Amiga Bill's here, of course. He can. He can educate us all. No, I don't think there's much wrong with the with emulation. Right. Exactly. Will Crimson Diamond be on the Amiga? Didn't somebody talk about that at one point?
Yes, I'm not
asked
sure if
about it
that's
or
going to be a
something?
thing we do.
It would be tough.
There might be technical issues.
It would be tough.
Yeah.
Oh, Hungry Goria is even streamed using a Nintendo Virtual Boy. Yeah, there's a consoleized version of the Virtual Boy now, which you can just you can play on your TV for the 2 good games on there. Well, one good game. I think there's only 20 some games, 27 games or something. One of the good games is the Wario game, and that's about it. And maybe tennis. I don't know. I had one for a while. I got rid of it. It wasn't for me.
Mm.
It was not for me.
So Dan, do you have a record of what you haven't sent to me yet? Because I'm trying to generate one now.
Some. I haven't sent you anything in like the last 3 streams, I think.
So this chapter 1 end bookend, chapter 2 start bookend, the dramatic turn music. Did you send me this the Easter egg, the shower Easter egg music?
Not too sure.
Okay, and then today we did Something is Missing.
Yep, something is missing. Okay.
Is there anything else that I'm missing from this? You think?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, sure.
I don't know. Have you guys
Better
seen
go
that
back to the
new
other
desktop Dragon's Lair mini arcade machine? Really? Wow, that's pretty cool. No, I haven't
It is
seen
really cool.
I have not seen it. Let's see here. So, you know what? One cool thing that I probably will do as we get time and as after December 1st when Empire of Sin is released, I will be allowed to show off some of that music on stream, and probably I'll probably show off some stuff. Maybe we'll even do one day we'll do like a combination of like a Crimson Diamond song in Empire of Sin music composition style. That would be kind of cool.
Oh, cool.
Metal Jesus Rocks did a YouTube on it, did he? He's actually in my Big Box PC chat group also. He's a really nice dude. Empire of Sin reminds me of King of Chicago. Oh, Amiga Bill, so check this out. We are currently, for that game, we are currently number 13 on Steam's most wish-listed games. So if you can wish-list it on Steam, go there and wish-list it, push the numbers up. They're trying to get it to number 10, I think. I think it's a big deal if we break into the top 10. I'm not sure exactly what it means, but I know Brenda even put out a thing on her. I don't know if she put it on her Twitter, but she put it on her Facebook asking everybody to go wish list it. So I'll do the same. Yeah, thank you. It's awesome. It's been an amazing time, and I am lucky to be a part of it. What's the way? What am I supposed to say? A part?
Yes, Dan. Very good.
Oh man. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So I hope that'll bring. Hopefully, it'll bring new people to watching the streams, and then also new people to can come see Crimson Diamond as well. That would be pretty cool. So that would be good. I think they're all liking the music. The team is liking the music. The people playing it, you can hear it on streams, but typically they put it either real quiet or sometimes they turn it off because they're trying to talk during the streams, and there's a lot of audio going on in that game. Great game. I think you'll enjoy it. And I know they're doing a lot of press now, so you should see more reviews and maybe more videos and stuff coming out soon. So that'll be cool. So like I said, hopefully it'll bring more attention here. It'll bring more attention to what we're doing. And then also I'll be able to stream some of the music and development for that as well. After the game comes out, I have permission to show it off. So that'll be cool. It'll be fun. We can like analyze it and stuff and look at it. And then it'll be good because if anybody's played the game, they'll have a context of, you know, what's going on. What are you trying to do? Why are you trying to do it? How is this different from Crimson Diamond? How is this the same? The process. I mean, there's a lot of pieces. The process, I would say, is no different. The only difference is the technical pieces of it. So like the creative process is pretty much the same. Yeah, and we were actually kind of worried about that, but they delayed until the 10th of December. And I've read a lot of bad articles about that. Cyberpunk. Have you guys read that? You mean Empire of Sin doesn't have MT32 music? If it did, I wouldn't be able to tell you. And if it didn't, I also wouldn't be able to tell you, at least until December 1st. No, I can tell you it doesn't have any MT32 music. I can show you some of the sounds I used and stuff too. I think we did one time, didn't we?
I don't think so.
We did. Well, I did a stream where I played like an Empire of Sin like song,
Okay,
but
yes.
I didn't actually. That's probably the actual piano sound in there. Thank you, Amiga Bill.
Yay.
Well, yeah. Let's see here. This is the piano that I love. I love to use this piano. It's such a good. It's got so many cool like. Yeah, you could pre-order it too, but wishlisted is just as important, I think. Don't worry, the Romeros have really taken very good care of me. Just trust me. I owe them a lot. Mainly Brenda, but John as well. And that game company is an awesome game company. It's a frickin' pleasure and honor to work with those people. Yeah, you could do a lot with this piano. I mean, this is just the presets, right? And this has grand piano, but then it also has upright. If you want a certain type of sound, like there's an old-timey retro stereo. It's not great.
How does an upright sound different from a grand?
Well, so the length of the strings is shorter. So the upright, the strings go up and down because they want more length. So like if you
Right.
look on this picture, they're kind of a floor to ceiling. Whereas on a grand, especially a large grand, you'd get, let's see, you'd get like, 6-8 feet of
Right.
strings. Whereas, your upright is probably 3.5, 4, something like that at the max. And even the tall ones, they just bigger strings, better sounds, better soundboards. The wood is it's just designed better.
I never thought of it actually how the strings are oriented for some reason in my whole life. So that's kind
Yeah,
of
well,
cool.
that's the main difference. I mean, you can have really short, small grand pianos, but it's just the orientation.
What if you had a really tall upright one? Would it sound just as good?
Well, there's a stupid plugin that does that, actually. It's called the Giant, and I think it's crap, but people like it. It's a contact instrument.
What if you had like a 10-foot tall upright?
Well, that's what this is. I'll show you. You're going to think it's stupid, and it doesn't sound that great, to be honest. This is called the Giant.
Well, I want to see a real one.
Well, it shows it. There's a picture. Look at that. That's ridiculous. What's good about this? What the hell? Oh, noises. Let's turn it on. Oh, this is for like cinematic. See, that's silly. I don't even. Oh, yeah. There's so many unusable sounds that people make.
Play us a song on the super tall.
I will, but I need an actual one that sounds like a piano.
Yes.
You hear that? I hate the way that sounds.
It'd be perfect for something.
I'm ran out of keys. I have my small controller here. It just doesn't sound that good to me. It sounds okay. It sounds very okay, which is what a lot of these sounds sound like. And then when you start layering them together, a bunch of okay sounds, a lot of time doesn't make a good sound. It just makes a lot of okay sound, which is not good. Well, even versus like this other plugin, Swing More has a decent piano in there that's kind of good for big band sounding piano. But I still like this Addictive Keys. And it's not super expensive. Yeah, a lot of okay does not equal good. Sometimes it makes it worse. Let's see. jazzish. I mean, that just sounds like more like a piano to me.
It's lovely. So which was invented first, the grand or the upright?
Neither. You had the harpsichord, you had the clavichord, so you had all these other instruments that were in the shape of a grand piano well before.
Okay.
So the piano was Cristofori, I think, was the guy that invented it. See, Bach never had a piano.
Right.
It wasn't invented
Harpsichord.
yet. Even Mozart didn't really have a piano the way we know it. It didn't really come closer to what we know until the 1800s, I think. So Beethoven, probably after Beethoven even, Chopin, Liszt, those Romantic era composers. Harpsichord
So
using
is the
powdered
upright
wigs.
made because it just takes up less space?
Yep. Because remember, back in the day, you didn't have a radio, so this was your radio, right? You wonder what the classic composers would have done with modern instruments. Well, you have some that are living, but they're not popular, right?
Well, if you watch the documentary Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, you can see how that works.
Yeah. Or if you play the NES game. Well, the harpsichord probably had an upright version, but it was mainly not an upright instrument. I'm sure I have a harpsichord sound in here. I'm not sure how great it is. This is not the best VST or virtual instrument. And it's all out of order because this thing sucks. Electric pianos and clav. It's probably an acoustic piano. Let's see. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's why that piano sounded the same every time I played it. No, and this one's not great. I don't like the way these sound. Play that instrument in Bach style. What's the other one? Yeah, the clavichord was between the harpsichord and piano, kind of. There was some overlap. The harpsichord is interesting because you don't have any ability to control the volume, right? It's one volume. Same organ, you have the ability to control the volume with pedals or stops, but harpsichord has one volume. So that was one thing. It had zero dynamics. It just played. Whatever you played, that's what you got. So I think that's why a lot of people preferred the piano. Which one? This one? Which song are you asking about?
Did you do a MIDI on Amiga, Dan?
I never tried it. No. No. It's not really a MIDI instrument. Amiga's not really suited for MIDI. It's more suited for mod music. Yeah, that's the Notebook for Anna Magdalena Bach by Johann Sebastian Bach. It's called, I think it's called Minuet in G. Yep, Atari was the one that everybody used for years. They loved that one. Don't I have Cynic keys or something? Cynic something. Vintage keys. I have so many dang instruments. I don't even know where they are. But this is one of the instruments. I'll play it quickly because jump off here. Atari ST was definitely better for music composers, but mod music was quite a thing on. Satie, you would count him, I mean, classical music, but he would really be considered one of the French Impressionist composers, I think. Right. Yeah, Amiga is really probably the mod community. That would be the deal.
I kind of like that.
Well, you'll hear stuff like that in Empire of Sin because this plugin did a lot of heavy lifting for that. And then a lot of the sounds in here are just really good. I never tried the vocals. Wonder what they sound like.
I don't know, man. I don't like that.
You can always change these. They've got these weird. That's not the greatest sound I've ever heard.
None of that.
Maybe that's why I never used it, but I don't even remember playing it. The guitar was okay too. The guitar wasn't too great. The brasses really shine here. The piano is good. The saxes are quite good, some of them anyway. The tenor, not so much. The alto is decent. The tenor, I need a tenor player to actually play on.
Seems like James would like to know, can it play fart notes?
Of course. But a lot of these
I kind of like that sound too.
You need to do a lot of like articulations. If you ever watch, there's another guy that streams that you guys should all go check out. A guy named, what's his name on there? Bustatunes. He's been on here once or twice. He's the composer for a lot of games. Call of Duty, the new mobile game that they're doing. He's the composer for Mortal Kombat 11. A bunch of other games. I'm forgetting. Oh, Secret of Monkey Island Remake. He did all the music for that. Oops, now I got two instruments going on at once.
Kind of sounds like you said Motel Combat 11.
Yeah, Motel Combat 4.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one. People like that one, Motel Combat. So something like this. This is the piano that comes with this plugin. It's really like a nice. It's really more for big band. Thanks, Jim. Dude, great to hang out with you, bro.
Yes, have a good night.
Yeah, I'm trying to give Julia the lead in, but
The lead in?
yeah, to talk about what
What
we're
am I
doing.
supposed to do?
Mouse Smith says, this is very much the thank you and see you next week tune.
Okay, I can do that. Am I going to do the signing off thing?
Yeah, but we're going to find somebody to raid, too.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, for coming tonight to hang out with Dan and I. With Dan figured some music out for us, and it was a great conversation. I love seeing people have so much in common in chat.
Yeah, we have a lot of common, right? A lot of nerds. Shout
Yeah,
out.
it's great.
Shout out, nerds. I see you out there. Used to not be cool, but I'm so glad it's cool now.
It warms my heart to see that there is so much common ground. And some people know music, some people know coding, some people know both, some people know art more. It's wonderful to have that all here.
What a nice community, huh?
Yeah.
Something we never thought we'd have built in such a short time with the people out there watching. So now here comes the real, not $1 million question, probably only about 50 or 75-cent question, but who is on that we would like to go rating? We got a couple of people. Well, T-Pain is on. He's got 2,000 people watching him. I would vote no on T-Pain. Let's see. We got Late Night Retro. I don't even know who that is. I've got the Kilgore Trout is playing
Crusader No Remorse.
Crusader No Remorse. We have the Taco Salad playing Adventures in Gaming, Game 134, The Chaos. We have the Renaissance who's playing Act Razor. Oh, I think actually Renaissance and Hungry are doing some back and forth, like they were sharing saved games or something like that, and then like she would play a little while, then Ren would play a little while. I feel like that was Act Razor, but I'm not too sure. So, and we've got our crazy buddy Middle Age Stream who is doing Resident Evil 3 Remake. So if I could figure out how to do a poll, we could do a poll and see who T-Pain is on a vote.
Poll. Totally.
How do you do a poll? We still can't figure it out.
Yeah, you got to go to your creator. You got to go to your Twitch dashboard thingy, and it's under on the right hand side under the streaming tools.
Creator dashboard. Can add, streaming tools.
And you have to add it.
Oh, you have to add it? Where is it?
It is, so if you click on the plus button at the bottom.
I don't have a plus button at the bottom.
Hold on, let's see if I can walk you through it.
Looking for your stream key? No. Extensions? Streaming tools?
Okay, let me open up another window and I can walk you through, because Mikachu helped me through. Let me see.
My buddy is DJing some electro swing. He played at Long Island Retro Fest. Oh, Long Island Retro Gaming Expo? Nice. I was playing Guard Duty made in AGS, only just started.
Yes.
Well, maybe we should raid A Mavel Mystery and she could play Guard Duty for a while.
Okay, hold on. Let me walk you through this, Dan. Okay, so if you go...
Tonda. We could have raided him, but now he's here.
I know. Oh, no.
So we missed
Tonda's
it.
here. Hey, Tonda.
Tonda's here. I think he's done streaming for the day. Otherwise, he's really doing his fans a disservice.
Okay, if you go to Creator Dashboard...
Let's shout him out.
Yeah, shout out Tonda.
I didn't see anybody playing an adventure game, Bill Coon. The closest I saw was no, Resident Evil 3, but that's not. Oh no, well, and Crusader. Crusader's not really an adventure game. It's kind of more of a. What is it?
Like a RTS?
Is that what it is?
Like a
it's not really. Yeah, it's kind of strategy, I guess. I don't really want to go watch somebody playing Among Us. I'm good with not doing that.
Okay, do you want to know how to do this poll or not?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, so did you go to Creator Dash? Did you just go to your Creator Dashboard from clicking on your avatar on the top right corner?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and then on the right-hand side, there's quick actions.
Yep.
If you go down to the bottom, there's
Oh,
the
manage
plus.
pull. Yep.
Yes.
Click that. Create a new
Yes.
pull. Sweet. Question.
Yes. Yes.
Who should we... Well, it's a lot of effort.
Oh my
Let's
goodness.
see.
Really?
Middle-aged stream is playing Resident Evil 3. Let's just put RE3. Let's put Renaissance is playing ActRaiser. Let's put Taco is playing Chaos. I'm not even sure what that is. Who else was playing on there? Oh, Kilgore was playing Crusader. Yeah, Crusader's more like, I guess that's like an RPG, something, kind of.
I remember reading reviews back when it first came out, and it was fantastic. I've never played it myself, though.
Yeah, a lot of people like it's an origin game, I think.
Yes. Yes.
View results. Okay, there we go.
Hey, you want to play some polling music, Dan, while we're counting down?
Yeah.
Yes. Legally distinctive music. Yeah, Blaholton, thanks for coming. Next week, as I mentioned, will be an art stream where we're going to continue with what we've been doing for the past 4 months. And it's going to be trees. We're going to do trees and leaves. We're going to figure out what color the bark is going to be. It's going to be fun times. I'm going to show you guys the game that I remade. It's a physical game that I've made cards for and art. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys that. Oh yes, I forgot completely. There is a Halloween stream, special Halloween stream. Saturday night. I'm not sure what time yet. It's going to be late because it's the spooky day and it needs to be spooky night for us to do this. Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to doing it. It's going to be something pretty special, hopefully. And I had a poll on mine, and it was EGAD make, so stay tuned for that. And I'll tweet out when it's on. And we do have a winner. Kilgore, Trout with Crusader No Remorse. I feel like this is an award show because we're hearing some music. The nominees are...
That's kind of funny. Interesting. The vote breakdown was... I have no idea. Doesn't show. Oh, 80%.
You can view results.
Yeah, 80%.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, let's rate our buddy. Let's rate our buddy Kilgore.
See you guys Saturday, whoever can come. It's going to be late, so I can understand that.
Come hang out. Come hang out.
Spooky.
I think I'm going to try to come hang out, but I'm working upstate, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Raid. Oh, how the hell do I do this? Don't I have to copy his name? Because I can't spell it.
Yeah, you have to write. I can tell you what it is. It's KILG.
Can you just stick it in the chat?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because I can't spell it. Holy cow.
It's
By plus plus. So is that object-oriented by? Hi-yo.
It is zeros instead of O's.
Oh, yeah. Why does he make it so difficult? I don't know. He's really enjoyable, and what I like about him is that he uses all retro hardware, and he does not support piracy, which is awesome. So thank you all for being here on behalf of myself, my friend Julia, who I like to troll. Whoops, wrong hand. She's this way.
We got work done, too.
We actually got work done. Imagine that. This stream was perfectly splendid. Why do you think I get anything other than out of life than pun fuel? Anyway, object-oriented by plus plus, and let's go raid. Let's raid the cat, the trout himself, and watch some Crusader. And I also like the fact that he's always got like he's using the Audigy Sound Blaster, which is cool, or he's using the GeForce 4, or he's using. Does he have a GeForce 4? I think he does. He has an older GTX card. He has
Yeah.
a Voodoo 3 card. It's great. Anyway, let's get out of here.
Can we have some rating music?
Rating music.
Amiga Bill, it's so great to see you. Have a great night.
Okay, I think we're done there.